Welcome guys. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut 6 different trending necklines, starting with this one right here. So you'll be needing a basic bodice pattern for this tutorial, and the darts that you're going to use is dependent on the neckline. So for this particular neckline I'll be using a princess dart pattern, but you can use a dartless pattern if you want, or a bust dart, but you cannot use a shoulder dart for this tutorial. I drafted a basic bodice pattern on fold, and when I open it up, this is what we have right here. So whenever you want to cut a neckline, the first thing to put into consideration is if the neckline is asymmetric or symmetrical. Symmetrical means that the left side is the same with the right side, while asymmetric means that the right side is different from the left side. So if it is an asymmetric neckline that you want to draft out, that means you are going to be opening up your pattern paper. You are not going to be cutting it on fold, and you're going to cut the left side different and the right side different. Okay, so the first thing to do is I'm going to mark 1 inch on both sides, and from here I'm going to go up by 1.5 inch, that is from the chest line, and I'm going to connect it to that 1 inch point like this. I'm going to slant it a little bit too, and then on this other side I'm going to use my friend curve, and I'm going to connect it to the neckline like this. That is, I'll connect that 1 inch point to the neckline, and I'll extend it all the way to the right side, and I'll make sure it's about 1.5 inch away from that straight line that we drew earlier. And then now I'm just going to curve it. So at this point now, I'll be using my pencil to continue from here, just so that in case there's any mistake, I'm just going to correct it. So from here, I'm just going to go in by 6.5 inches. There is no standard measurement here. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to recreate exactly what we have in the video. And that's why I'm just, from my own discretion, I feel 6.5 inches is okay. And now I'll be connecting it to that straight line like this. And then with my pencil again, I'm going to connect it to the other side, drawing the curve. So the secret of drawing necklines is just look at the design in the video or whatever you're using, and try to recreate exactly what is there onto the pattern paper. So if you understand your basic bodies, you'll be able to draft out any neckline of your choice, even without a tutorial. So after I'm done, I'm just going to trace this out and I'll cut it. I'm just going to cut it out, and this is what the neckline looks like. At this point, I'm just going to be cutting out the dart so that I'll show you how you can go about it. Like if you are done with the drafting of the pattern, you just cut out the dart. Just the normal way you cut out the dart, and you fold in your side darts, just the normal way. So for those of you that may be wondering how to cut the hemline, it's the same thing with the neckline. So for the hemline, after removing the dart, you're just going to fold. You're going to place the pattern paper together. Make sure you tape everything down and they're not overlapping each other. And now with my pencil again, I just traced it out. So here I went up by 4 inches, and then from here I just curved it all the way to this point, and then from here I just curved it up and down, all the way to the other side. So that's just the secret to cutting out any neckline or hemline of your choice. It's just to draw what you can see on the video. I see a lot of comments, people asking me what's the name of the neckline. Most of these necklines were created by someone. They have not even discovered the name of the necklines. You can sit down in the comfort of your house and create neckline of your choice based on your own creativity. And most of these necklines don't even have name. Like this particular one, I don't think there's a name for this neckline. After we're done cutting the front, I'm just going to be showing you how to cut the neckline for the back. So for the neckline of the back, you're going to go in by 1 inch. Remember, for the shoulder of the front, we went in by 1 inch on both the left side and the right side. So for the shoulder of the back, you're also going to go in by 1 inch for both the left side and the right side. Normal standard is whatever you do for the shoulder of the back is the same thing you're going to do for the shoulder of the front. Right here, I'm just going to be opening this up, and I'll be adding zipper allowance to it. Okay, so the next neckline is this one that I saw from Total Ninja. It's really beautiful. This is actually a sweetheart neckline with something like a V design in front right there, and I'm going to be showing you how you can go about with the cutting of it. This is a symmetric neckline. That means the left side is the same as the right side. So I'm just going to be cutting the neckline on while my pattern paper is on fold. So we're going to assume this is our princess basic bodice pattern. So the first thing to do is I'm going to go in by 1 inch. And then from here, I'm going to mark out half of my bust span measurement, which is 3.5 inches right there. So from here, I'm going to mark 6 inches and I'll connect it to that 1 inch point, drawing a straight line like this. And then now with my front curve, I'm just going to connect it all the way to the chest line like this. So just pay attention to the way I place my front curve. I'll just curve it and now I'll cut it out. So by the time you open this up, this is what we have right here. As you can see, we already have a sweetheart shape there. So now for the V design, you're just going to go ahead and separately cut out a piece of fabric. You place it on fold and then just turn it to the right side. And now you're going to be sewing it onto the neckline like this. So just pay attention to the way I'm placing it on the pattern paper. It's the same way you're going to place it on the fabric when you are cutting. You can join this after you are done closing it with a lining, or before you close it to the lining, you can join it to the fabric. So whichever works for you is fine. So just arrange it. Make sure that the shoulder aligns right there and the shoulder aligns on the other side as well. So remember, when you are joining it to the neckline, you're going to be attaching it at this point and also at this point. Make sure that they are equal on both sides. And you're also going to be joining it at the shoulder like this. And the width of the piece of fabric should be about 1 inch wide. Then after that, this is what we have right here. So for the back of this, remember what we do for the shoulder of the front is what we are going to do for the shoulder of the back. So we are going to be using a round neckline for the back. You can use any neckline of your choice for the back, but I like to maintain the round neckline for the back. The most important thing here is to make sure that the shoulder aligns. So when you are done joining the front, just make sure that the shoulder of the front is equal to the shoulder of the back. So just place everything, arrange everything in such a way that they must align together. And then remember to open the center back, and you are going to add zipper allowance to it. Okay, so the next neckline we're going to be drafting is one of my favorites, which is this asymmetric neckline with collar right there. I've been seeing this everywhere, also recreated by Prudence, and it's actually very beautiful. We're going to be focusing on how to cut this particular one right here. So in order to be able to draft it out, you will be needing your basic bodice pattern as usual, and you can use a princess dart or a side dart, or you can even use a dartless bodice pattern for this. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is I'm going to be using my front curve, and I'm going to be extending this all the way to the other side like this. So from the chest line, I'm going to make sure it's about 2 inches above the chest line, and I'm going to be stopping this exactly at the bust span measurements. That is, it should be on the same line. And then here I'm going to go in by ½ inch. With my straight rule, I'm going to connect it like this, drawing a straight line here. So after this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this line all the way to the armhole area like this. I'm going to make sure it's about 3 inches long when I'm extending it. So this part is not necessary, but I'm just trying to show you what the collar is going to look like by the time we are done sewing. And then here I'm just going to extend it to the shoulder like this. While on this other side, I'm going to extend it 3 inches also facing the other direction. And I'm going to make sure it's 3 inches all the way to the shoulder. So just mark 3 inches all the way to the shoulder. And then now with my front curve, I'm just going to connect it like this. For this particular tutorial, you're going to be drafting both the back and the front at the same time. So in order to do this, on the back, I'm going to trace out that ½ inch onto the back like this, and I'll just mark it. And now I'm just going to be cutting this out like this. So after I'm done cutting, this is what we have. So for the back, I'm going to trace out that half an inch all the way to the center. I'm just going to connect it back to the center so that I'm going to remove that excess. The reason is because we want the back and the front to align, and that's why we are cutting both half an inch on both sides. So now I'm just going to join the back and the front on the left side or the right side, join it together, and I'm going to use my measuring tape, and I'm going to measure from this point all the way to the center back like this. And what I got is about 13.25 inches. You can tape the shoulder of the back and the front together when you are taking this measurement so that it will not be moving or shaking. And then now you're going to label that 13.25 on both sides. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. So I'm going to tape down the shoulder of the back and the front, and I will take my measurements from the center back through the neckline of the back all the way to the neckline of the front like this. And what I have is 10.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 10.5 on both sides so that I will not forget. I'm going to mark 3 inches also for the back, exactly what we did for the front. I'm going to mark 3 inches for the back as well so that I'll make sure that they are equal. And I'm just going to be connecting this all the way to the other side. I'll do this for both the left side and the right side. So this is me just illustrating what the neckline for the back is supposed to look like, okay? So at this point, I've opened up that zipper point, that is the center back. I opened it up. This is where the zip is going to be, as you can see there. And I'll be adding zipper allowance when I am cutting on the fabric. And exactly what I have here, I'm going to place it on the fabric and I'll cut. So you cut the back separate, you cut the front separate. So this 3 inches the collar that we illustrated, we are not going to do it on the fabric, okay? I'm just illustrating it on the pattern paper. And then after you are done cutting, we'll go ahead and cut out the collar for this design. So this right here, I've cut out the collar, and this is what it looks like. So the one that is 10.5 will be for the 10.5 inches point, while the one that is 13.25, sorry, it's supposed to be 13.25, will be for the 13.25 inches points. The weight of this pattern paper is 3 inches, but remember, when you're cutting on your fabric, you're going to be adding sewing allowance to it. So this is what it looks like. So the part that is long, I'm going to join it to the longer part, while the part that is short, I will join it to the shorter part respectively. Another thing I did was to create this slanted effect that you can see. So instead of cutting it straight, I just slanted it by 1 inch. In order to attach the collar, we will be attaching the back and the front at the shoulder point first before you join the collar, okay? So you'll be joining it at this point. So this 13.25 inch, you're going to join it at this point, while for the other side, you will join it as well. And this 10.5 inches point is what you are going to be joining at that point like this. And you turn everything to the right side. And that's basically all for this particular tutorial. So for the next one, we are going to be drafting this V neckline with this scallop effect that you can see on it right here. I also love this neckline, it's very beautiful, and I'll be showing you how to cut it. So as you can see, this is a symmetrical neckline, meaning the right side is the same as the left side. So I'll be cutting the neckline on fold, and the first thing to do is to connect from the shoulder all the way to the chest line, join a straight line to form this V shape that you can see right here. So after you're done, I've used my pencil to trace it out, and now I'm just going to be showing you exactly what I did. So I'm just going to be going in half an inch inward, half an inch outside, all the way to the shoulder like this. So this is like the easiest of all the necklines. This is like the easiest. So just mark half an inch in, half an inch outside until you reach the shoulder. And then after you're done, you're just going to cut it out. So for this particular neckline, you can use your princess dart, your shoulder dart, your side dart, or you can make it a dartless pattern. For the back, I'm just going to make sure that the shoulder of the front and the back aligns. And the neckline for the back, I'm going to be using a round neckline. You can use a V neckline if you want, or you can use square, any neckline you want for the back, but just make sure that the shoulder aligns with that of the front. And that's basically all for this one. Okay, so the next neckline is this particular one right here. This is a symmetrical neckline, and we'll be using a shoulder dart for this particular neckline. And the reason is because this is a very deep neckline, and most times deep necklines require contouring, because if you don't tighten it, it's going to gape. So in order to prevent it from gaping, like being too loose around your body, it's advisable to tighten it up. So the first thing we are going to do is I'm going to be dividing my shoulder by 2. I'm just trying to create that shoulder, that panel right here. So I'm just going to connect it all the way to the bust line like this. So after you're done with this, I'm going to go in by 1 inch from this point. And then while here, I'm going to go in by 2.5 inches. And I'll connect it drawing a straight line like this. Then after that, from here, I'm going to go up by either 2 inches or 1.5, depending on how high you want that scallop design to be. And then after that, I will just go in on both sides. I'll go by 0.5 inch on both sides. After that, I will draw a straight line connecting it this way. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to go up by 1/2 inch. And then from this 1/2 inch point, I'll connect it all the way down to the chest line. So I'm using my pencil in case there's any mistake. I can easily clean this, okay? So I'll just be looking at the design, and I'll be tracing it out exactly what I can see right there. Okay, so mind you, the basic bodice pattern that I'm using is just for illustration, okay? Like this particular one, I did not do under bust tightening or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you the neckline, and that's why I didn't bother to draft a proper basic bodice pattern. So after cutting this point, I'm just going to be taking the dart like this right there, and I'm going to be curving it so that it will be equal on both the left side and the right side. So I'll just cut out the excess right there, and this is what we have. So by the time you open this up, this is what we have. So these points, I'm going to be closing it, and I'll close the other side as well. So I'll just place it back on fold, and I'll be cutting out the darts from this, and this is what we have right here. So for the back neckline, you're going to make sure that the shoulder of the front aligns with that of the back. But every other thing, you can make your own neckline for the back, okay? So the next tutorial is this particular one right here. I've been seeing this neckline everywhere online in different forms. Either the one with sleeve, the one without sleeve, like it's a tube dress, or the one that is with detachable sleeve like this one right here. So our pattern paper is on fold as usual. I'm going to be finding a midpoint. So as you can see, this is a very deep neckline. It's very wide. So we are going to be using our shoulder dart. So I'll connect it to the bust point like this. And then from here, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. And with my front curve, I'm going to connect from that 1 inch point all the way to about 1/2 inch below the armhole area, okay? So just pay attention to the way I curved it with my front curve. Then after that, I'll take the dart of 0.5 on both sides, and I'm going to be drawing a straight line like this. So after that, if you notice this side of the dart is longer. This is 4.25, while here is 4 inches long. So in order to make them equal, I'm going to be taking the excess, which is 0.25 inches on this point, and I'm going to connect it all the way to this other side like this. And then for the neckline, if you want sleeve, you're going to go in by 1 inch here, and you're going to connect it all the way to the side like this. and this will be the sleeve for it. So after you're done, you're just going to go ahead and cut this out. So just pay attention to the lines I followed while cutting. So after you're done cutting, by the time you open this up, this is what we have right here. So this is the parts for the tube dress. If you don't want a sleeve, this is what it looks like. But if you want a sleeve, this is what it should look like. So now I've just taped this down together, joining the center front to the side front. And for the hemline, you can just go ahead and curve it like this. So while for the back, I'm going to go in by 1 inch, just like I did for the front, and I'll connect it like this. So you can use this as the back, and you open this part up, or if you want, you can use this particular sleeve right here. So just cut out this other part like this. If you want the back to be exposed, you can remove this other part and just cut out the sleeve to be like this. Or if you want it to be a tube dress, then that means you're going to be connecting from here. You're just going to cut it. So from the chest line, that is ½ inch below the chest line, you're going to cut it out, and this will be the sleeve part if you want them to be sleeve. While if you don't want any sleeve, this will be the tube part of the dress. And that's basically all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two from today's video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.